again, we are back on Boond Soch ttalk train of thought with a series of an episode with Mrs. Shweta Ashok. She's into nutrition and the lifestyle coach. And it's an interesting journey of what we understand from her, right from education. And now, in fact, in this episode, we'll be talking in terms of academia to an entrepreneurship journey, which is there. Now, in fact, we've seen a lot of an value addition, as far as academic which is concerned. So how did it help you out in your profession, in your career path,
Okay. So I think it's very important to get certified, and you learn a lot. But what I've learned along the journey is experience adds like tenfold to what you learn in college. But it's very important to always have the basics in place for you. And from that, given that especially my field is nutrition and health, so there's something that's up and coming every day. Your statistics change, the rates of things change, the way people behave also change over the years. So keeping up and constantly getting certified and following the trends are very important to push you and propel you through your career also.
I see. And while being in biochemistry, what was in your mind, while doing that post-degree course in biochemistry,
It was actually a tough 2-year journey, because in masters you also have to submit your thesis. You have to do research and you have to submit. We used to I studied in Roya College. We used to have to do our entire day, study, attend lectures, do our experiments, and then we would go to a lab all the way to Thane to actually sit and do our research thesis. And I think all these small things really add on. Like when I think about it now while I'm speaking to you, in fact, it really adds on to how you grow as a person when you have to do things when you're younger by yourself, go here and there, gather information, get things done. And learning biochemistry has really helped, because that's the basics of understanding how everything chemically works in our body. So then it just adds on, and it's easier to help people when I understand internally what's happening. Because in nutrition nowadays everybody is focused on the external aspects, but we don't know what's going on internally. So the knowledge that's coming from there is really helping me out to help people understand that you have to also check in on yourself internally, make sure you do health checkups and things like that to kind of push people to understand the body better.
I see. Many of these students, I'm sure, who are part of biochemistry, I think will get inspired by the way you've gone ahead with completing that particular course. So many of these students, they get confused also in mid, by doing this biochemistry, and there's a big question mark about their career sometime if the clarity is not there. So then what you would advise them,
So figure out if, honestly, I stumbled upon the entrepreneurial journey. It's not something that I had planned, but biochemistry also opens a lot of areas with respect to working for pharmaceutical companies. Even in pharma, you can head their nutrition department. There's research work that you can do. And given that now we live, especially post-pandemic, freelancing is something that's really kind of come up, because everybody's understood they can work from home, they can do their own things. So again, you also have to weigh in what you want in life, and even if you are working for a company, always have other areas open for you.
Correct.
Like it could be as simple as something, getting another certification done.
I see.
We live in a world where one thing is not enough anymore.
Correct. I need to have some more value addition as well.
So keep doing courses, keep upgrading.
Correct.
A lot of companies now offer you to directly get a PhD through them.
Correct.
So those are other options also that people can go for.
And I think you've gone for a certification course in visual perception of the brain. So what was the logical link of with your career?
Not much of a logical link with the career, but neuroscience again is something that I like reading into these things. And if I want to link it to how I'm working now, it really helps because understanding the mind and body connection really helps me to coach people better. Okay. And for me at that point, I really wanted to do certifications not for the certificate but for the knowledge that I was getting from it. So that kind of really helped me to also, I understood I can sit at home and I can across borders pursue a lot of other courses to up my knowledge.
Correct. And with the advent of technology, I think it's a global village, and technology helps you to reach the masses like. And you have also gone ahead with the intro to science of cancer, So, can you throw some light for ttalk audience on that, please?
So there was a point where I wanted to get into cancer research, which is why I started understanding the basics. But eventually, like when I did go to the Cancer Institute, and I as a person couldn't see the suffering, and I couldn't really place myself over there to think about working in that environment. So, but again, understanding it's something that we need to also understand that given the way we lead our life now, if we don't moderate on a lot of eating junk, or it could be constantly not sleeping, stressing out, eventually these things do lead to the big C word. Right? So it is important to understand the basics of everything, and even as a layman, I think really looking into your health beyond just dieting, like actually if you're learn for how it's going to work for your body and how healthy you're going to be for the rest of your life. So it's important to know these things. There are a lot of certifications I've done which today don't play a lot of role in what I'm doing, but in a way I've gained a lot of knowledge, and I can link things back when the time comes and when I need to work with a particular client that comes to.
I think whatever knowledge which is there, I think it comes handy one way or the other. If not today, tomorrow it has some connection one way or the other. Okay, and what is satisfaction in doing a diploma in clinical nutrition like? So what was the duration of that particular course, and then how the kind of insights you got from that clinical nutrition like?
So the course was 6 months, and it was a tough 6 months because from biochemistry to come into calculating how much food we need to take to understand per person, and to a layman, calculating calories is something that I don't encourage. We need to understand using our hand, using katoris on how to kind of portion food out. So those 6 months were intensely focusing on how we need to eat, using what measurement. Then it would be about if you have diabetes, then what are the things that you need to do. If you PCOS is something that's like before someone even enters into the teenage years, like this is something that people are hearing now due to many hormonal issues. So understanding those clinical things took a while, but eventually I kind of understood the importance of learning about each hormone and how it plays a role in the body. And I'm in fact again now pursuing sports nutrition and further doing many other certifications in this particular area to deep dive into more of the hormonal health and gut health also.
Oh, correct. I think that's how that's what this ttalk platform is all about, where the experts they come and share their learning and their experience of navigating in the life. And we're actually in case of Mrs. Shweta Ashok, she at each and every step of her life she goes and updates herself in carrying more and more knowledge which is there. Great. And now I think you also took plunge into an MBA on health and healthcare admin so can you throw some light for our target audience on that?
So that was a point in my life where I was not sure whether although we have all the degrees, unfortunately in this country science has not really come up yet, and it is difficult. The job market is difficult in science. So MBA was something that I pursued as a backup, but given that I've gotten into business now, the degree is helping me a lot
Correct.
to manage and understand and plan things out.
Mhm.
So somewhere again that's helped me out, but I had done it as a backup to know in case I'm not going to pursue the pure science field,
Mhm.
then this would be there as I can apply for a job and I can use my MBA degree for it.
Correct. I think it's always one needs to have an options open as for the career path which is concerned, how to navigate. God knows which thing is going to come as an handy and where you can make your career out of it. And I'm sure since she's more expert into the nutrition and the lifestyle coach, there's a lot of understanding what we need to gather from Shweta Ashok, and I'm sure it's an interesting conversation what we are having exclusively on ttalk ek Boond Soch ke. Just go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can, and also catch up with Shweta Ashok on our next episode of ttalk ek Boond Soch ke. Ma'am, thanks a lot for being part of the show. Thank you very much.